Hello guys, my name is Bo Yu Mao from the University of Adelaide. Today I want to give you the presentation about project management plan for Superman board. Okay, here's the outline of my presentation, and the outline is based on the checklist produced in the my uni, and there are 7 key sections in my presentation. The first key section is completeness, which is the main part of project management plan. The first issue is scope definition. We use work breakdown structure to define the scope, and there are 5 main tasks defined and many sub-tasks with unique identifications. In terms of time management, we use Gantt chart to manage the time, and the task dependency would be shown in Gantt chart. Okay, here's a Gantt chart we use in SPMP, and you can use several seconds to go through that. The third issue is stakeholders. Only the team members are listed in this plan, but other stakeholders like the clients, coordinators, and the University of Adelaide are missing. There's a formatting issue existing in roles and responsibility section, and I think this feature is well defined in project management plan. The goals and objectives are generally discussed, but without detailed specification. They may need to provide an individual section to discuss this issue. We just simply describe the project control strategy, and we need more work to improve this section. The boundary between the administrator and manager is not clearly defined. In the document plan, the user memo is missing as well as its description. The process model is the last issue of completeness. On the right side, you can see the detail of what we did in first draft, and you can see that we only describe the waterfall model and Scrum model, but how those two models involve in our project is not described. In the future, maybe the process of controlling and monitoring would be added in this section. The following part is technical issues. This part is included in another document which called SRS, and the tasks and subtasks are defined based on the requirements defined in SRS, and the technical issues are involved in the description of 2 milestones. Okay, the next part is work breakdown. On the bottom side is resources allocation in my first draft of SPMP. Obviously, it is not clear in the project plan, but in the real world, it will be flexible in task assignment, which means the document leader and coding leader will assign different tasks to different members based on their preference and abilities. The coming part of my presentation is project milestones. Mm, there's a description of milestone 1 in our first version of SPMP, and clearly, the description is too general, especially in the second part. We got 2 sensors in our project. It's color sensor and distance sensor. In this description, the functionality of those 2 sensors should be described. In the third part, The minimum requirements should also be listed in this section. In terms of testing issue, there are three tests listed in our project plan, which are usability test, functionality test, and unit test. Obviously, this part is too general, and we should include test cases, participants who involve in the usability test, and the tools we use in this testing period. The coming part of my presentation is quality assurance. There is only the iOS model included in this part, and the measurement and matrix of iOS model are very poor, and we should improve that in the future. On the right side is the detail of iOS model in our first version of the document, and you can use several seconds to go through that. As the requirement of client, we should also provide an encoding standard in our project, which could make our project in a high quality. We have some problems in our organizations. The first issue is formatting. In the rules and responsibility, the line fitting is not so good. And in the iOS model, we just miss the label of the image, and the image is not in a high quality. The reader may feel so confused about this image. The last issue is grammar. There are so many international students in our group, so the grammar issue might be very important. Okay, generally, this document is acceptable, but some parts needs to be improved, such as the quality model and process model. The most important issue in this document is we are missing the test plan and process of monitoring and controlling. We will add those two parts in the coming version. Okay, thanks for listening. This is my presentation.